Good morning, friends, and thank you for dropping in. This is David coming at you from Zone 5B in the southwest suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. And I hope you guys are all doing well this weekend. It is Saturday. It is not going to be as hot as it has been. We made it through our 4 or 5 consecutive days of 90+ degree heat. The shade cloth worked really well. I did take it off since we're back down to normal. You guys, just some progress. Got a lot more stuff potted up. Now this one back here, this is actually my single seed challenge plant. And for whatever reason, it just is not taking off like everything else that I have as far as tomatoes go. So unfortunately, it's a little not dramatic, or maybe it is being dramatic. It's not very impressive results. So yesterday I sat down and I did plant up some broccoli seeds, some arugula, some kale, just some greens. We're at the end of June here, going into July. See, my zinnias are doing really, really well. I do have some basil that I transplanted there, but I did notice some other herbs starting to pop up. Kind of hard to see. We have little dwarf sunflowers that we bought in one of those little kits that are doing really well, that I just up potted as well. And here on the deck, you guys saw the overhead view. My strawberries are all doing really well. There's actually a couple of berries on here that I saw. I do try to spin the gardens or the green stalk to expose all the different sides. I am trying to root this runner. I'm going to have to get one of my garden pins to keep it down in the dirt to see if we can get that thing rooted. I have lavender growing over there in a pot. And really, just gardening is one of my favorite times. It really is. Getting to come out in the garden and see progressing with my potatoes in the bags. Getting to see all the fruits forming on my Roma tomato trees. And you see, this is what a determinate tomato will do. It produces all of its fruit kind of in a flush. So you see all the little Romas on there, whereas an indeterminate is going to spread it out a little bit more. Over here we have my get stuffed tomatoes, and there's a couple of nice tomatoes on there. I should have pruned my tomatoes a little bit more. I don't want to give them a lot of room. I wanted to see what they would do on their own. And then over here in the garden beds, I did harvest the broccoli that I had growing. I think I waited just a little bit long so the head had started to loosen. And you know, one of the really cool things about posting YouTube videos every single week is it's easy for me to go back and see the growth. So you see my cucumbers here and my squash. My squash absolutely grew up and over the trellis, which is just incredible because it seems like just a couple of weeks ago, I had just put these in the ground. I have a cucumber that's growing up here over the trellis, and growing vertically just makes it so much easier. So it's not as crowded down in the bed. We can get more airflow. For the cucumbers here, we do have some cucumbers on the vine as well. There's a cucumber right here. I did apply a new layer of the kaolin clay, really more to try to protect against pests and insects. I haven't seen any, knock on wood. I haven't seen squash bugs. I haven't seen a lot of the little pests that really plagued the garden last year. And it could be because of the temperatures, because we've been so weird and just started to warm up. But I also want to think that maybe the kaolin clay has something to do with it. Down here on my eggplant, I have a beautiful purple eggplant growing. I did pot some more of the eggplants that I had growing on the deck. So that is fully planted out. My grape vine is really thriving here, growing along my PVC. My watermelon plant is getting really, really big. My beans are doing well. I think the thing that I'm most impressed with right now would be my peppers. You see this banana pepper, and it's not a very big plant, but it is just loaded down. Both of my banana peppers. My shishito peppers are loaded down there. And even some of the new ones that I tried, like my hammock and my first taste hybrid, are just loaded down with peppers. So just waiting for that stuff to ripen. Some of the purple bell peppers that I tried to grow are finally sprouting. It's just been a weird weather season. And then over here, my ground cherry plants are just enormous. I mean, they are huge. I did 2 of them this year. Last year, I really only had one that was really successful. My other one just didn't take off the same way. And it is important to come through and just pick off some of these interior leaves that aren't getting the sunshine. Keep that airflow going on all your plants because it helps prevent against disease. So the morning garden walkthrough is just a great time for me. Hopefully I'll insert the drone footage so you guys can see what my garden looks like from over. And I live in a suburb. I'm actually restricted on how much of my yard I can use for a garden. So when it comes right down to it, I really don't have that much of my garden devoted to, or much of my yard devoted to gardening. I'm not allowed to because of homeowners association rules. See all the chickens trying to stay cool. And there's the baby. The Polish hen Fro. All the chickens are out here loving the shade, eating early in the morning. I did throw out a little cooling pool for them as well. So yeah, again, I mentioned it before. The good thing about gardens is you can really cater it to whatever size you have available. It doesn't have to take up 3 acres. You don't have to have any yard at all if you want to do container gardening, like I do with my potatoes or like I do with my tomatoes. The trellises are pretty flexible. You know, I just threw together some scrap PVC to make the trellises in my raised bed. Over here, I just bought some cheaper lumber. And you see my onions are really doing well there. We have our owl to scare the hawks away, so I don't lose any more chickens because I did lose a chicken last year. So again, gardening can be catered. It can be catered to you, your yard or your patio or whatever you have to work with. And if you don't have any space at all, there's always a community garden. If you check, there might be a community garden near you that'll allow you to grow there as well. And those, I want to show you guys something here. On the south side of the house, in the orchard, we've seen the trees, but look, for the first time ever, I actually got flowers on my blood orange. So I was really excited to see that. I bought the blood orange early last year. It was one of those tree in a can things that you get at the big box stores. Now I want to throw out a warning here. I did run to Tractor Supply yesterday because I had to get some more blood meal for the garden. And my peaches still on there. My other peach. I did thin off one of the peaches from up here. There were 3 growing together. And then I think something might have gotten the 3rd one because it disappeared as well. So my tree's growing like crazy. So I went to the big box store. And because we're towards the end of the season here, they had great sales, right? The tree in a can things, you know, it comes in like a can with handles, almost looks like an old milk pail, be foot and a half tall. Normally $32 for one of these. And lot of times it's citrus, right? That's how I got my blood orange. They had lime, they had lemon, they had more blood orange, they had kumquat, and they were down to $5 because it's the end of the season. The problem is, those have been sitting in the store, or this is in their little outdoor garden area. They've been sitting there all season long, and they look pretty bad. Same with inside the store. And this is nothing against Tractor Supply, because all the big box stores face the same problem. They had the little blueberry bushes and the raspberry bushes and the strawberry plants, and everything's on clearance because they know the growing season is almost over. But the problem is they've been sitting there not properly cared for because they're packaged, and you just don't know what you're going to get. It's hard enough when you buy the bare root strawberries from a big box store to know if they're alive, to know if they're viable. So you really have to weigh whether or not it's worth that $5 to gamble on the fact that this is going to live, that you're going to be able to bring it through. I definitely saw signs of poor nutrition on the trees in a can. I was tempted. I wanted to get a lime tree. I figured $5 I could try a kumquat. Again, it's that urge of mine to grow anything I can. But in the end, I didn't do it because they did look really, really bad. So if you're tempted, if it's something that's in a container, if it's something that's in a can, pull it up out of the can and take a look at the roots. See if the roots are circling the plant. See if the roots look white and healthy, or if they're brown. And if they're brown, they're probably dead or dying. So it's not going to be worth your money. I'd hate to see you throw good money after bad things and have no luck because you were kind of doomed from the start there. So starting with the best possible quality of products is going to help ensure that you're more successful. So keep that in mind when you're out shopping this time of year towards the end of the season. I have also been checking out some online nurseries. I would like to get into grafting trees next year. Maybe graft 2 different varieties of apple on a rootstock. I know you can get rootstocks at some of these stores. You can get it on Etsy, but that's something that's better done in the fall and winter. So I'm going to look into that. But yeah, garden update, show you how everything survived. That 94, 95 feels like 103-degree heat that we had here. The garden is moving along pretty well. I'm really pretty happy with everything. I can't wait for stuff to start so we can actually harvest. Because other than the broccoli, that's really, and some radishes, that's the only thing I've been able to harvest so far. So I'm really looking forward to the strawberries ripening in the green stalk, the peppers ripening in the raised bed, and the tomatoes ripening in those buckets. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. I hope you guys all get out there, enjoy the weather, enjoy family and friends and the summer, enjoy life, get your hands dirty, really just keep on growing. And I can't wait to see you guys all back here again real soon. If you like the content, make sure you hit the like button. It helps my channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to know when I post my next videos. I do try to post every Saturday and or Sunday. So I want to keep the content coming out to you guys. I want to try new things. I'd love to interact with anybody. So if you have any questions, pop those down in the comments. I do put links to all the stuff I show. So if you guys are interested in what I purchased, you know where, how much, I try to make it as easy as possible. So thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you guys back here real soon on Come Grow with David A. Keep an eye out for a short video tomorrow. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next week.